Sir, can you please provide your full name with the spelling of your name?
Lieutenant Colonel John Golden, Golden.
And your hometown, sir?
Herndon, Virginia.
Okay, sir, and you are the Deputy Director for the Operations Section of 2nd Marine Division Forward, which heads Task Force Leatherneck, the ground combat element in Helmand Province. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, sir. We're going to talk a little bit about Operation Eastern Storm, as you know. Can you tell me, sir, what is the overall mission and purpose of the operation?
Operation Eastern Storm is a Regimental Combat Team 8 mission involving 3 battalions moving up Route 611, that's Afghan Route 611, to establish freedom of movement between Kajaki and the lower Sangin River Valley, or the lower Sangin Valley.
Yes, sir. And why would you say the operation is important? What is this going to do for coalition and local Afghan?
Well, there's really 2 purposes of it, and neither one of them are more important than the other. First of all, to establish freedom of movement means to clear Afghan Highway 611, which has basically been closed to navigation, riddled with IEDs, and in the hands of enemy forces for several years now. So opening up Route 611 will allow local villagers to facilitate commerce. It'll allow some of the northern villages, which haven't been able to get to Lashkargah, the provincial capital, for a number of years, to move freely about the northern sections of Helmand Province. And there's multiple benefits associated with that, primarily commerce, but also relations between villages, etc. The secondary purpose, or the second purpose, not really secondary, is to reestablish Giroa presence in the Kajaki district. And Kajaki is important because that's the site of the Kajaki Dam, and the Kajaki Dam is important for multiple reasons. Its hydroelectric power production potential, while it is producing, it's got tremendous potential to produce more, so that the people of Helmand Province and adjacent Kandahar Province would benefit in the power production. But it also regulates the water flow along the Helmand River, and the water flow is what produces the agriculture, both licit and illicit, in Helmand.
Yes, sir. So what units are involved from coalition forces, and if any of those are partnered with Afghan forces as well?
Well, as I noted before, this is a Regimental Combat Team 8 mission. Almost all of the Regimental Combat Team 8 infantry battalions are partnered with Afghan National Army units, as well as Afghan National Police units within their respective battle spaces, their operating areas. 1st Battalion 6 Marines is the organization that's pushing up Route 611. They're partnered with both 215 Corps, Afghan National Army, and Afghan National Police in their push up. Prior to the actual kinetic clear with the conventional forces, we did multiple shaping operations with both U.S. coalition and Afghan Special Forces units in the area, the respective villages moving north between Sangin and Kajaki.
Yes, sir. Prior to the operation, sir, I'm sure you can understand a lot of the American citizens are always concerned about potential civilian casualties. What steps did our forces take, sir, prior to the operation to help clear out the route that we were going?
Well, without getting into specifics that would be considered sensitive information, I will say that we began an extensive shaping operation using Afghan commandos, Afghan Special Forces, along with elements of the Marine Special Operations Command, who they were partnered with Special Operations Task Force West. They executed what we call village stability operations, which were building situational awareness for coalition and Afghan partnered operations in the area, but also an extensive recruiting campaign for Afghan local police within each of the villages, within most of the villages going up the Route 611 corridor. And in the process, they were informed that coalition forces would begin operations at a certain point. I mean, it wasn't necessarily specific, but an information operations campaign that the residents of the Route 611 corridor, Kajaki district, were important. That Giroa was establishing itself as the national force, and by Giroa I mean the government of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. But that we were dedicated to supporting the Afghan personnel within the area. So I don't think it came as a surprise.
Yes, sir. And sir, we understand that the operation is ongoing at this time, but can you tell me, just from the initial reports that we've received at this end, what kind of resistance have our forces seen in the first few days or the first week?
Well, I'd say the enemy resistance is has been expected. Kajaki's long been a stronghold for the Taliban. So there are critical command and control nodes that obviously the insurgents, the Taliban, want to defend, and in those known locations, it's been fairly fierce. We've attacked with both special forces and conventional forces, but within the villages, the local personnel, coalition force and Afghan partner presence has been warmly accepted, warmly regarded. 2nd Battalion 4th Marines did a clear up a wadi, up a dry riverbed that has long been a Taliban stronghold, and within hours, certainly less than days, after clearing through the village of Shiat Shah, 2nd Battalion 4th Marines and their coalition partners mentioned how just villagers were returning to their homes that they'd formerly left because the Taliban had kicked them out. They were excited about establishing Afghan local security forces. Some of them had never actually seen Afghan security forces before. They'd never seen their fellow countrymen in uniform, either as Afghan soldiers or Afghan police forces. So they were very warmly received.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.